Well, hello and good afternoon from India. I'm your host Shubham from Branding Bum, and I'm here today to talk to you about some really cool and interesting topics. To begin, let me set some context here for you. I'm going to be sharing with you what are the different activities in my day to day schedule, what are the different nootropics that I consume to get like 2x the productivity from a normal average entrepreneur, and how you can start implementing the same to double your productivity and achieve the life of your dreams. So, if you're ready, then let's type ready in the chat to get started. See, I'm I was kind of a solopreneur from a lot of time, like almost from the age um, of, I would say, 18, 19. I used to be doing things on the freelancer realm. I did a lot of design work, started off my journey as a brand designer, brand strategist, and from there transition into website. And I've dabbled my hands in a lot of different skills, trying to learn new things and grow my business. And you know, one of the major driving forces for me to do all of this was I wanted to help people. I wanted to make people aware of the importance of their life and their existence. So I always knew that if I have to make people aware of all of these different domains of life and help them figure out the purpose of their life, then I will have to be kind of an overachiever, right? I have to put myself 100% in the direction of service and servitude. Now, having said that, it was kind of a difficult journey, and I think I might have changed my timetable more than, actually don't even remember, but I can easily say it was more than 100 times, right? I would make these timetables trying to have like a very routine life, which is, perfectly balanced and has all the elements of fun as well as work, as well as, there's this saying that you should play hard, but you should work harder, right? When you're able to work harder, then you're able to play even more harder than that. So the point is that we as entrepreneurs and especially creative people find it extremely difficult to draw that boundary and understand like when is it time to take a break, when is it time to actually continue focusing on work. And because of this, a lot of times I've seen entrepreneurs getting completely burnt out and not being able to make the impact that they deserve, the potential that they have. And since this was such a big challenge for me, it took me a lot of years to actually fix this problem once and for all. I am not saying that I'm perfect yet, okay? I'm not implementing this schedule every single day, very uh, disciplined way, but I can say that I'm reaching towards the direction of implementing. I'm able to stick to this routine quite a few days in the week overall, and it is improving day by day. So, without any further ado, let's get started and let's dive into the real stuff. Okay, so what exactly are nootropics? Do you have any idea what nootropics are? For those of you who don't have any idea what a nootropic is, let me open up Google and just ask what are nootropics? So it says that nootropics are basically is what a nootropic, also known as cognitive enhancers, are drugs. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about the nootropics which involve any kind of a drug. Okay, I'm going to focus my energy more on naturally occurring nootropics. And there are a lot of nootropics found in Ayurveda and the Indian tradition, which can absolutely help you enhance your cognitive function, improve your memory, improve your focus, and be overall much more productive than you are right now. Okay, so let's just see. Let's just see what are nootropics. Are there natural nootropics? There are two different nootropics: synthetic, a lab-created compounds, and such as piracetam, etc. And there are herbal nootropics like ginkgo biloba and ginseng, etc. Right? So all of these natural nootropics is what I'm going to focus upon, and I'm not going to focus so much upon the synthetic ones. But before you actually dive into nootropics, there are certain things that you need to be aware of. And let me quickly share with you what those things are that you need to be aware of. Otherwise, there's a high possibility that you might actually end up in a not such a great position in life. Okay, so I just want to make sure that you all understand the importance and what we are diving into much more better over here. Just give me a second while I'm opening up a few documents to make this more easier. So let's start with understanding what are the different effects nootropics can have on people, and are there any side effects? So there are a vast number of nootropics that are available in the world, right? As we already saw, there are synthetic which are made in the lab, and there are naturally occurring ones which are there in nature around us. So both of these have their own side effects as well. They do have benefits, but the side effects is something that we need to be aware of, and you know we need to take proper guidance from a healthcare professional who's certified and knows exactly what will suit you and what can go wrong in your life if you start administering any kind of a nootropic into your daily schedule. So I would advise you and highly recommend you that if you are going to start taking any kind of a nootropic, please consult your doctor, someone who is a professional healthcare uh, person who can actually guide you and who can tell you what to take, how much to take, and what can be the possible side effects of whatever you're consuming. Having said that, it's also important to understand that nootropics are not some kind of a magic pill that if you start taking nootropics, uh, if you read something the first time itself, you'll remember everything. That's not the purpose of taking nootropics. What happens is nootropics are kind of like a supplement. If you have a discipline already going on in your life, if you're following a particular schedule and you're trying to get your life into a better position, then nootropics basically complement your existing good habits and they don't replace those good habits. Okay, so it's super important that you actually uh, understand that nootropics are going to only enhance your functionality and not replace it. Apart from that, the real benefits that people have noticed, personally even I have noticed, I've been taking like quite a few nootropics over my day-to-day schedules. I've been taking it like from quite some time now. So I can see that I have an improved memory recall. I can envision things much more clearly, and I have better energy throughout the day. Okay, my focus is better. I don't feel fatigued or lazy to act upon certain tasks which are repetitive also sometimes. So all of these are a few basic um, benefits of actually consuming these nootropics. What I was thinking is there's also this element of flow. Like it's generally a little bit difficult for people to achieve the flow state. Well, I've personally not been able to figure out if it was the nootropics that helped me reach that flow state faster or was it just a placebo effect. But whatever the reason might be, I have actually seen that I would be able to reach my flow state much more faster and much more efficiently. And not just reach the flow state, I can also stay in my flow state for much longer if I consume a certain types of nootropics at a certain given time of the day. Now, you should not use the same nootropic forever. You can actually try to have a routine or a schedule where you can experiment, you can mix things up, and find the perfect balance where maybe on a particular day you're taking nootropic number 1, and on day number 2 you're taking something else, and then you divide and make sure that you have a balance of all of these, because all of these nootropics have different functionalities that they target within your brain and mind. So if you start focusing on only one type of effect, it's not going to help you grow your entire system overall in a well refined way. So just give me a second. There is a knock on the door and I want to check who that is and what they want from me. I'll be back in a second, and then we'll dive into the actual fun stuff of nootropics. Okay, so that was one of our team members trying to tell me that I forgot to switch on the timer on my stream today. So I have actually switched it on now, and now I think everyone can see that it's not showing bonus and it's actually showing the time. Now, where was I? I was talking about how you need to mix up the nootropics on a regular basis. Now, why should you mix it up? As I mentioned, it will help you reduce any potential for dependency if you mix up these nootropics and not just stick to one kind of a nootropic every single day. And secondly, it will help you stay sharp and help your brain adapt, because otherwise there's a possibility that you might become tolerant to a particular type of nootropic, and then you might need more and more of it, just like any other thing that we do in life. If you work out and you're doing 10 push-ups, after a week or so it will become easy for you to do 10 push-ups, and you have to increase the amount of push-ups that you're doing. So for these reasons, it's important that you maintain that kind of a variety and you maintain that kind of a balance, so that you have a more fulfilled and you can make the best use of all of these nootropics to enhance your focus and get the best output from your day-to-day routines. Now, let's jump in to the main stuff and let's get started. How I'm going to do this is I'm not going to directly list down all the nootropics you need to take. Instead, I'm going to list down a daily routine that you can follow, and the daily routine that I follow or I wish to follow in order to actually achieve my peak potential. So there are three parts to my routine so far, and I will also tell you, like, there are some parts in this routine that I'm not able to execute, and I'm saying that again and again so that you know that it's not important to be 100% on track with this routine, but it's a very good milestone to have for yourself, and slowly, day by day, improve your uh, the number of things that you're doing in a particular day within the routine, day by day. Okay, so the first thing that we look at when we try to start our day, so we have like three parts to the day. We have the morning routine, and then we have the day or the work routine, and then we have the final one, which is the evening routine. And all these three routines actually focus on one particular part of my life. Okay, so in the morning routine, I am actually preparing myself. So this is basically the preparation of my mind so that it is now going to be ready to function throughout the day and achieve its peak potential, and be able to add that kind of a value through whatever kind of work that is done. So this is more of like a primer for the main part of the day, which is the work part. Now this is where we have two sessions of 3 hours each minimum, where we have like a deep focused work going on. One of the sessions can be highly creative, so this is completely focused on the creative aspect of the day, or getting out creative output from myself. And the second deep work session can be about meetings, engagement, building community, and talking to people. So both of these require a person to be highly focused. So these are the two aspects. And then finally we have the evening. So in the evening we focus on improving our physical health by maybe engaging in some kind of a fun activity, working out or playing badminton or something of that sort, along with a lot of time to personal life, personal relationships, connecting with friends, family, and maintaining that kind of a balance, so that it's not everything is not just about work, 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 but there is also some kind of a balance that's achieved in the personal life also. Although at this point of time, because we are very early in our professional life, like we are still building the base for what's to come, I'm unable to actually give my 100% time and energy on the last area. But I feel like I just don't feel like it, but I know for a fact that we are getting there when it comes to the morning and the day work routine. So I am super excited and happy about that at least. And this live stream is also super helpful in achieving that too. I think there's something wrong with our timer today. It's already 17 minutes past. So what I'm going to do is 10, 17, and I'm going to start at that. I mean, it's not such a big deal to be focused on the timer, but it really helps everyone understand how much is left and what they can expect from this live stream. So, the best time, according to all the Vedas, is to wake up in the Brahma Muhurat. Now, what is the Brahma Muhurat? Brahma Muhurat basically is the time before sunrise. It starts at about 4 4:30 a.m., but we generally consider it to be the 4 a.m. and it lasts till about up to 7 a.m. or just post the sunrise. This is the Brahma Muhurat. Now, if a person can rise at this time of the Brahma Muhurat, and whatever they work on within this given period of time, they can actually accomplish it and achieve whatever they set their mind to. So this is one of the most important elements of trying to improve your focus. Okay, try to wake up at anywhere between 4 to 7 a.m. If you wake up at 4 a.m., you will get around 3 hours of the Brahma Muhurat to utilize to prepare yourself and achieve all your dreams and goals. But it might be a little bit difficult for people to wake up at 4 a.m. suddenly. So, you can slowly, gradually start reaching that time. And then you can start at 7 o'clock, even 7:30 is fine to begin with. And then slowly reduce 30 minutes every week and reach a point where you're able to wake up at 4 a.m. Now, there's nothing to get overwhelmed with this, okay? There are a lot of people who are going to be like, oh, but I am a morning person or I'm a night person and this doesn't work for me. Simple fact, if you want the results, you gotta do what is required. That's it. I'm not saying that this is the ultimate thing, but you try it as an experiment. Okay? Do this experiment for a week and see the results by yourself. And once you see the results, be true to yourself, be honest. Don't lie to yourself. And when you're true and honest to yourself, you will actually see that my words are actually true. And this is not for one specific person. Any person in the entire world who actually follows waking up at the Brahma Muhurat can really see the significant impact and changes that their life will have because of this one simple activity. Okay, but what's happening nowadays? People are actually going to sleep at 3 o'clock. I mean, it's very clearly proven. Even Dr. Huberman, who I really sincerely admire and I follow, has told about this study where one of the major reasons for depression is sleeping after 12 o'clock. He clearly states that in that study, it was found that there is a particular time in which your body is actually removing toxins and recharging and re-energizing itself. And that time is 11 to 3 a.m. 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. Now, if you want to be asleep at the time of 11 p.m., obviously you have to go to bed at 10 p.m. Now, if you're going to go to bed at 10 p.m., you have to wind down and start preparing yourself to sleep at around 9 p.m. Now, if you want to be able to do that, you have to have your dinner by around 8 p.m. So, everything, if you reverse engineer, if you want to be able to wake up early, then you have to sleep early. So what is that schedule now? So 9 p.m. is wind down. Max at 10 o'clock or 10:30 you want to go to sleep, and you need at least 2 hours before you go to sleep. Like, you got to eat just 2 hours before you go to sleep, otherwise it's going to still be digesting and you'll not have like the perfect sleep. So you want to eat anywhere between 8 to 9 p.m. Now, if someone follows this, it's going to be easy for them to be able to wake up early in the morning. Okay, now let's directly jump into the routine itself. So what exactly am I doing in the morning? So here's my uh, morning routine. Okay, so first and foremost, this morning routine is of about 2 hours in total, and 7 a.m. is the time that I wake up. Okay, after waking up, I reflect upon and note three things that I am grateful for. Okay, this is super duper important. How does this entire gratitude system, everyone keeps saying, write things you're grateful for, be grateful. How does this exactly work? So, what's happening is every time you send a signal in your brain regarding anything in your life, what is happening is you're manifesting these small tiny neurons and neural pathways, and this is a physical pathway I'm talking about. It's not some hypothetical pathway. And every time a signal is going, the pathway is becoming stronger and the neural structure is becoming stronger. Okay, now what's happening, if every single morning you start writing things that you're grateful for, you're sending a signal to the positive pathway. As a result, you are able to see possibilities and positivities in everything in your entire single day. That is the reason that you need to first and foremost write down three things that you're grateful for. Okay, now it takes about 10 minutes for me to do that, so I'm just going to write 10 minutes over here. And then the second thing that you need to do is you need to drink some hot water, not like hot, but at least some warm water, because when you're drinking this hot water, it helps remove the vata from your body. What is vata? So we are basically comprised of three doshas: kapha, vata and pitta. So kapha is like the water element, vata is the air element, and pitta is the fire element. And these are the three elements in our body which are predominantly regulating all the functions of the entire body throughout the day. Now, because we are asleep for the entire night, the vata in our body can increase very significantly. So drinking hot water and adding some lemon juice to it just squeeze in half a lemon. You don't need to squeeze in too much. Just squeeze in half a lemon to this hot water. Okay. And this is where you can actually add your first set of nootropics into this mixture. So you can either add, if you want to increase your energy, alertness, and concentration. Okay. If you want to increase your alertness, concentration, and energy, then you can add caffeine plus theanine. And the ratio that you want to maintain for this is 1:2. So if you're adding, I would recommend you can start with, if you're an average human like me, I am about 55 kgs and 5.5 foot. So I take about 50 grams of caffeine along with, sorry, not grams, okay, I'm sorry, 50 milligrams of caffeine along with 100 milligrams of L-theanine. So this is what you can start with if you want instant energy, alertness, and concentration. The second option that you can incorporate is to add golden root. Uh, just a second. I'm actually going to switch off this timer from here because there is some problem, some error in the timer, and it's not allowing me to work properly with the system. Okay, just a second. So we are having, we took a break yesterday because of which we kind of lost touch with, whatever we were doing. And I'm sorry, I forgot that the tap screen is not even visible. So let me go through this once more very quickly. So we have the morning routine, the day routine, and the evening routine. Okay. I already spoke about all of these routines. You can just go back within this live stream and check it out. So we have the preparation, which is the primer in the morning. We have the main deep work in the daytime, and then we have the evening functionality work, right? So from here, I was describing what I'm doing in my morning routine, which consists of 2 hours of like total time. So 7 o'clock, we wake up, and then we reflect upon and note down three things that we are grateful for. Then at 7:10, which this takes about 10 minutes, and at 7:10 we drink hot water with some lemon juice, along with which you can start adding one of these three nootropics. Okay, so the first one is a set of caffeine plus theanine. Now, why did I choose caffeine plus theanine and not just caffeine or not just theanine? There's a very specific reason for that. Caffeine, theanine. See, it's very clearly mentioned here. The ratio of caffeine to theanine is generally 1:2, 100 mg of caffeine with 200 mg of theanine. Most theanine, and this offers it already. And let's see what are the different benefits of actually consuming theanine with caffeine. So when you actually mix theanine to caffeine, it makes sure that, the jittery after effect of caffeine is completely nullified. So that is one of the reasons you want to mix both of them. And then There's a lot of study on this. I think what you can do is you can just go online and figure out why exactly I've chosen both of these. You can also look into perplexity.ai, okay, and you can type your questions here. It will actually go do the research on Google and then bring you the answers specifically. Or additionally, what you can do is you can click on Converse over here with Google, and Google will actually tell you that L-theanine is a constituent of tea that has a relaxing effect, and caffeine has like a stimulant effect. So both of them neutralize each other's side effects and make sure that you actually reach your peak performance and peak potential. Okay, now coming back to where we were, the second um nootropic that you can consume or you can add to your schedule is golden root. It's also known as rhodiola rosea. Now, what are the benefits of golden root or rhodiola rosea? Let's look into that now. What is rhodiola rosea? Is that the spelling? I think it's I. Rhodiola. Yep. So, rhodiola rosea is a flowering herb that grows in cold, high altitude regions of Europe and Asia. It's very much available here in India. It helps in promoting increased energy, stamina, strength, and mental capacity, improves athletic performance, and helps one resist the effects of stress. It also helps manage depression, anxiety, and other symptoms similar to this. Okay, so yeah, this is a much better view. So it has not been confirmed yet, but I have been taking this and I have seen that there are significant results that I have gotten, which are obviously positive in nature. So that's something that I've been taking from quite some time now. The third one that you can add is a complete game changer and is being promoted like crazily by all institutions. Okay. So the third one is lion's mane mushroom. You can either take it in the powder form or extract is also fine. Okay. Now, how much rhodiola rosea do you need to take? You need to take about, say, 100 to 200 mg. Start with the lower dose. It's an adaptogen and it will help you handle stress very well throughout the day. Now, talking about lion's mane mushroom, this is magic. This is where, things really, really have changed. It's been a game changer for me personally. Let's see what lion's mane mushroom is all about. So this is exactly how lion's mane mushroom looks like. And it's also known as Hericium erinaceus. 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 I really don't know how to pronounce it, but if you do, then, you know, you should learn how to pronounce it if you want to eat it so that you can sound cool in front of other people. But lion's mane mushroom are edible mushrooms that grow on dead hardwood trees, and they're also known as mountain priest mushrooms. And they actually do this kind of a job. It's funny, like the name is so much like their nature as well. So, according to some research, a lot of research actually, lion's mane mushroom helps in improving nerve development and function, protecting the nerves from any kind of damage, basically neuroprotective uh, properties. And then it reduces inflammation, helps the cognitive and heart health, supports the brain and nervous system, and it also boosts the digestive system. It is also complementary and an alternative therapy for depression. So you see, all of these nootropics that have been selected by me have been handpicked in such a way that they actually enhance your life and the quality of your day-to-day um, activities, right? So that is why we have chosen this. Now, how much lion's mane mushroom do you want to add to your schedule or your routine? Anywhere between 5 to 10 grams at the max. Okay, I keep saying grams, people. I'm just so used to saying grams that I forget it's actually milligrams. So this is actually milligrams. Okay, so let me quickly summarize this for you. Here are three here are three extremely potent and beneficial nootropics that you can start consuming every single day in the mornings. The first one is your caffeine to theanine with the 1:2 ratio and a maximum of 50 milligrams of caffeine and 100 grams of theanine milligrams. And then Rhodiola rosea or golden root 200 milligrams because it's an adaptogen that helps handle the stress of your day-to-day activities. And then finally, lion's mane, which is 5 to 10 milligrams, and it supports nerve growth factor and brain health. Okay. The next thing that you want to do is this is going to take about another 10 minutes. Okay. So I'm writing that over here. Although I'm not micromanaging my time so much, but it's good to know how much time it takes generally. So the next thing we want to do is at 7:20 a.m. and we want to take a cold shower. We don't want to take bath in hot water or warm water. We want to take bath in cold water. So what this does is it activates the dopamine responders in your body, and there's a big rush of dopamine that hits you and helps you feel motivated and prepared and charged up for the entire day. This takes anywhere about another 10 minutes. So I've kept it flexible that in such a way that if this gets over in 5 minutes and 5 minutes, I have like 20 minutes for my shower or vice versa and changing. So the next thing that I want to talk about over here is basically what happens after the shower is done. At 7:30, we want to start doing a morning puja along with a little bit of chanting. Now, why is this important? Not just for spiritual or actually, the spiritual is not the right word. It's not just for religious purposes. It's actually going to help you improve your life in a spiritual manner. How is that going to help? So, what ends up happening is if you are doing puja, you're engaging all of your senses. Okay. So when anyone who does puja, they are going to be doing a few activities while performing this puja. So they're going to be singing some kind of a bhajan, they're going to be lighting a lamp, there is some incense stick involved. Okay, along with this, there is also a bell that you're ringing. So what's happening is a combination of all of this is engaging the different senses of your mind and your body. So when you're singing, you're using your tongue. With the lamp, you're using your eye. You're also looking at the personality of Godhead. And then you're breathing the fragrance that is being emanated from the incense stick. And when you're ringing the bell, you're able to hear some beautiful music that is having some kind of a positive vibration. Okay, and as a result of bringing all of these different senses together, you're able to tie a leash to your mind, and you're able to gain more control on your mind and not the other way around. See, just think that the mind is a operating system. It's basically your CPU. Okay, and your senses are your mouse, keyboard, screen, etc. Ideally, we want to be using the CPU, we want to be able to get whatever results we want, and we want to control the mouse in such a way that the mouse pointer goes wherever we want it to go. We want to type something on the keyboard, the output should be exactly what we are typing, the screen should display what we want it to display. What if all of this got reversed and the screen started showing you whatever it wanted to, the keyboard started typing on its own? It wouldn't be that much fun, right? But that's exactly how we are actually running our everyday lives. Okay, the senses want us to indulge in certain gratifications. For example, the tongue wants to eat anything and everything even though it's not healthy, and we start running towards that. Or, you know, I think you get the point from here. So what we are trying to do is, by doing this small puja in the morning along with chanting, we are focusing our mind and bringing it back in our own control through the senses. So that's the importance of doing puja in the morning. Then the next thing we want to do is, now since our mind and everything is prepared, we have primed everything so far, at about 7:50 a.m. we want to do Surya Namaskar, basically 12 rounds. And then we want to also do some kind of a pranayama. Okay, so I follow the short kriya, which is something you can learn with the Art of Living, or you can also learn it at Isha Foundation. If you don't want to do any of this, you can go to ISKCON and you can just learn how to chant. Or you don't want any of that also, then you can just do basic pranayams. So I would suggest you to do Bhastrika along with Ujjayi, and do this for at least 20 minutes. So overall, dedicate about 40 minutes of your time here to do Surya Namaskar along with a short Kriya. It's really, really powerful, and it will make sure that, all the sufficient oxygen goes to your brain. If your brain is oxygenated well, it becomes easier to solve problems and think of new ideas and be more productive in your day. So, with that, the last part of the morning routine is at 8:30 a.m. This is very, very critical. At this point, what we are doing is, we are basically either having, like, we are having a very healthy breakfast, that is very obvious, but what are the different options within the breakfast that we can have, and how much time are we giving? So 30 minutes we are giving to breakfast, and what we are eating at this time. So either you can drink sattu powder mixed with ragi, or you can eat some seasonal fruits, or if you feel even hungry, even still you are feeling hungry and you are maybe working out and you want a better diet, a much more wholesome diet, then you can soak oats overnight with A2 desi cow milk. Don't go for any milk, go for specifically desi cow milk, because it has the right kind of protein which gets digested by us easily. Don't go for the Jersey cow milk, it's very, very important. And in this seasonal fruits, try to include two small bananas. Don't eat these big bananas, eat these small yelaki bananas or red bananas, but go for the indigenous, the desi banana breeds. Okay. Along with the sattu powder and ragi powder, you can optionally also have sprouted microgreens. Okay, you can easily find some microgreens like beetroot seeds, uh, broccoli seeds, alfalfa seeds. Garden cress is really amazing and really beneficial. You can mix these up and you can start sprouting them, and then you can have that in your breakfast as well. Now, there's something that we missed out over here. When you drink this hot water in the morning, along with that, you can also eat your soaked dry fruits and berries. So you can soak some dry fruits overnight along with some berries to get the right antioxidants and all the right nutrients, because it takes some time for you to actually eat the breakfast overall. So by the time you reach your breakfast, you might feel hungry and you want to be nourished. So for that reason, you can actually eat your dry fruits and berries in the morning itself. Now, there's a very specific reason when I said take bath and everything. I didn't say brush your teeth. You can just gargle and just orally like drink some water. That's more than enough. You don't really need to brush your teeth, because what's happening is if you brush your teeth with any kind of a paste, it will have chemicals. And just like how your body can absorb any kind of chemicals through the skin, don't you think your tongue will be absorbing all of those chemicals, and it sets a very bad uh, tone for the entire day for the body? And that is why I've not included brushing in the morning so much. I've not given it so much importance. Now, the next thing is the deep day work routine. Okay. And this is where most of the work is happening. What are we doing in this deep day work routine? So it starts at 8:30. We have already sat down and we have had our breakfast, and then we have about 30 minutes of break from about 9 o'clock till 9:30. And at 9:30, so at 9:30 we start. In this break, obviously we are just mentally preparing ourselves for the day to begin, day prep. But at 9:30 is when we actually start doing pre-work setup. So in the pre-work setup, what we are doing is we are listing out all the things that are supposed to be accomplished for that particular day, and what are the things that were accomplished for the last day. So we are trying to note everything down. We are taking about 30 minutes of planning and preparation. So I think all of you already know this, but 10 minutes spent in preparation can save hours in the war. This is like a old proverb. So I just wanted to share that with you. So what you can do is you can prepare for 30 minutes for the day. And now this is when at 10 a.m. you get into the actual work. And you have your first session, which is a 90-minute session, followed by a 30-minute break. So that would lead us at 11:30. We have a 30 minutes break, followed by 12 o'clock for another 90 minutes of work. Okay. Now, if we follow this time, 1:30. At about 1:30 p.m., we get free from the first deep work session. And this is where you can uh, kind of bring that balance and see what aligns with you better. Do you like to do creative work first, or do you like to do meetings first? Depending on your particular day and your schedule, you can actually allocate that. So I personally like to do creative work in this period of time. And from 1:30 up until 3 p.m. is rest. And what we are doing in this rest period is we are eating our lunch, which takes about 15 to 30 minutes. And post lunch, we are drinking buttermilk, which is very important, with black salt, black pepper, because both of that helps in slow digestion and slow absorption of the food that you have eaten. Along with that, this is where you can add the next set of nootropics in your lunch. With your buttermilk, which has black salt and black pepper, you can add ashwagandha along with brahmi, and it's highly potent and effective. And you can start with anywhere between 150 milligrams to 300 milligrams, the same for brahmi as well. So if you add this to the buttermilk and drink the buttermilk, it's going to help in digestion even more if it was just in comparison with buttermilk. Okay, so with that, we have finished our rest time and we are now charged up and ready for the next set of work, the deep work session for 3 hours, starting at 3 p.m. till 90 minutes, followed by a 30-minute break, and then followed by another 90 minutes of deep work at about 3 to 5 is about 2 hours, and this is 90 plus 90. Okay, so if you start at about 3 o'clock, 90 minutes from 3 o'clock is 4:30, then you take half an hour of break, that's 5, and from 5 o'clock you do another. So it's at about 6:30, 7 o'clock, you're done with your morning session. Now, coming to the evening session, which starts at, uh, before I actually dive into the evening session, if you all want to grab a glass of water, maybe some snack, then you can have a 5-minute break and we will be back in 5 minutes from now. Until then, enjoy your music and enjoy the puppy show. Okay, we are back and let's dive into the evening routine, which is one of the most important routines for people who are trying to build some kind of a business and who are like really unable to spend or dedicate so much of time. You can try to incorporate parts of the evening routine into your morning routine, or you can like find a balance between your morning and evening routine in such a way that you're not investing too much of your time in these two areas. Because sometimes if someone is actually working on getting themselves sorted for their survival and they're on the path of building something purposeful, something that they're passionate about, or something that requires a lot of time, they might not necessarily be able to focus on all of these areas of life in any particular single day. But if you want to achieve your peak potential, then you can start with this. This is a template that will help you to find that balance. Now, the evening routine begins at 6:30 p.m. and the first activity that we are doing for 90 minutes is one of these. Either we are doing badminton, followed by maybe we are doing Padmasadhana, which is something you can find on YouTube. This is also from The Art of Living. It's a 20-25 minute routine of yoga postures that helps you strengthen your back. You can do swimming or any other workout of your choice. But basically, this is physical activities, intense physical activities. So after 90 minutes at about 8 o'clock, we relax and hydrate. Every break, remember to drink some water. You don't have to over drink water, like anywhere between 2 to 5 liters is good enough depending on your body type and structure and the place that you're living in and the weather also. But anywhere between 2 to 5 liters is good enough. For most people, 2 to 3 liters is decent in a single given day. So relax and hydrate, and at about 8:30 p.m. we have our dinner. One thing to make sure to have in the dinner is some kind of a green leafy vegetable, because it will help you get all the necessary nutrition, and it will also help you to clear up your bowels in the morning the next day. It will provide you with all the necessary fiber. Then once you're done with the dinner at about 9 o'clock, you can plan to engage in some kind of learning, personal, or some kind of music, practicing some kind of a instrument, some kind of a fun or game like activity with your friends and family members. Okay, so this is complete time for chilling out, relaxing, and unwinding. And at 10 p.m., we want to start getting in the zone of pre-sleep rituals or the night rituals to prepare ourselves for winding down and sleeping. One of the most significant ones that you can do is 30 minutes of chanting along with walking. So you can chant while you're walking, it will really help you. So why am I stressing so much upon chanting? You might have heard me speak about chanting at the start of this live stream, and I'm talking about it even now. So what's happening is the same principle. When we are doing puja, we engage all of our senses. Similarly, when we are chanting, we engage all of our senses, and we are also engaging in repetition. So what ends up happening is, whenever you start any kind of a new activity, initially you might be very excited about it, or you might be doing it for any kind of a reason, which will surely change with time. Your mind will not be consistent with whatever reason you have started. So initially there's a possibility that, you know, let's say you like jogging. So you're very excited, you get up early and you start jogging every day. After some days, you might even feel frustrated with jogging. You might even feel bored of jogging. You might feel angry with jogging. Similarly, you'll feel these emotions varying for every activity that you do in your life. Now, what we are trying to do here is we are taking chanting, and as we are chanting, we are making ourselves go through those emotions and become aware of those emotions. And as we become aware of those emotions, After one particular point of time, if we accept each emotion that has come, we reach the emotion of love. Okay, this is the key. We practice how to be in the emotion of love through chanting. Because let's say you started riding a bicycle or a scooter. Initially you were excited, and after one point you go through those emotions of like boredom or anger or whatever. But after one point, riding just becomes second nature to you, because you have reached the peak of riding the bike or bicycle, and that is the state of love you have reached. Now, we generally don't see everything around us, all the activities that we do on our day-to-day basis, as a means to reach the state of love. But if you are chanting, I can assure you that you will be able to recognize what exactly is happening inside of you, the emotions that are coming up, going down, why are they coming up, why are they going down. And after one point of time, if you chant enough, you will be able to experience true bliss and true emotion of love through chanting itself. Okay, so that is why I keep focusing on chanting. Additionally, there is a secondary benefit also. If you would have noticed in your life, anytime and every time you think of a certain person and the qualities that they have, good or bad qualities, have you noticed that those qualities start getting transferred to you? Let's say you had an ex who used to treat you in a certain way, and that you felt really bad about that and you kept thinking about it. So there's a very high possibility, without your awareness, you might have started doing those same exact things with people around you, or maybe with people in the next relationship that you have. So you need to be very careful what you focus your energy and your mind upon, because whatever you will focus your energy and mind upon, it will manifest in the real world. First, it will manifest in the neural structures in your brain itself, and then from there in your actions, and then through your action in your habits, and then through your habits it will become part of your life. So please be careful about what you are meditating upon. Now, having said that, what we are trying to do here with chanting is we are meditating upon God. We are very well aware that in this world everything is made up of duality. And since everything is made up of duality, you cannot find something existing in its purest form or purest state. Even water, we know chemically, cannot achieve 100% purity in this world. But in your mind, you can imagine 100% pure water. That means in your mind, there is no duality that needs to exist. So when we think of God, we think of the supreme, positive, and supremely accepting personality. Why is it important to think of this personality? Is if you don't have that personality, the exchange won't be that efficient and that effective. So when you start chanting and thinking about God, God's names, God's figure, God's personality, God's activities, God's stories, then you start acquiring those positive elements into your life. And this is why chanting has been given so much of significance and importance in my schedule over here. Now, once you're done with 30 minutes of chanting and walking, you must be wondering what kind of mantras to chant. There are a lot of mantras. You can choose and decide whichever mantra you like. But I personally chant the Hare Krishna mantra, which goes like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is from ISKCON, and you can start chanting it. And it has like a lot of things that a lot of information, a lot of positive elements embedded into it. So you can start chanting the Hare Krishna mantra to begin with. Then at about 10:30 for the next 10 to 15 minutes, you can start reflecting upon the day, upon the week. You can review and visualize all the different things that have happened to you or that you made happen in the day. Okay, visualization super important, helps in building imagination. Along with this, you can also write a small journal with very minimal questions, trying to see what were your major victories for the day, major wins for the day. So you can journal as well if you like. Basically, change the story, break the patterns, and develop empowering beliefs by changing the stories and patterns that you say to yourself. If something bad happened, try to find something good in that bad. If something good happened, be grateful and thankful that something you were able to experience something good in your particular day. Okay. And then finally, at about 11:15, we ensure that we brush our teeth, not necessarily with a toothpaste, but something natural. There are a lot of options available. There are neem sticks available. There is this alum powder that you can mix with haldi powder and salt, black salt, and then you can make a toothpaste out of that. And you can Google and find out alternative ways to actually make some kind of a mouth cleanser and teeth cleanser, and you can absolutely use brush with that. Okay. And then finally, you can also use some kind of a nose strip to help you open up your pores, your nose itself, so that you can breathe better and you don't snore and you get the maximum oxygen to your brain and into your body, and you have a good undisturbed sleep. It also really helps to make the environment wherever you're sleeping completely dark and have the right temperature so that your sleep does not get disturbed. If you have any partner that you sleep with, then ensure that they try to follow a similar sleeping and waking cycle. Otherwise, it's going to cause some kind of a hindrance and friction between both the parties. So, with this, I've covered the entire daily schedule and I've covered all the different uh, nootropics that you need to take. Although, in the night, when you are actually writing your reflections and your journaling, at this point of time, you can include lion's mane mushroom once again. You can either take it just once in the evening, or you can take it twice a day if you would like. In the early, like when you're starting off, you can just experiment with it and see which time works better for you. When you're taking lion's mane mushroom, you can take anywhere between 5 to 10 milligrams of it. Then you should also remember to soak your dry fruits before sleeping. And finally, just before bed, at the time you're taking this lion's mane mushroom, you can have a little bit of chawanprash. It's easily available here in India. If you're not in India, then you can find what are the options that are available in your country or city, along with salmon omega, because that's one uh, vitamin that you don't get. The salmon omega, you don't get that kind of what is it exactly called? Basically, you don't get omega 3 from a vegetarian diet so easily, and it's easily available in fish oil. So it helps with joint health, it helps with combating any kind of bone diseases. So having salmon omega really works. And I think I've covered almost all of the different nootropics and routines that can be followed by you to live a healthy, happy, balanced, and fulfilled life. If I missed out on something or I made a mistake somewhere, please type in the chats and let me know. I'm always open to your feedback to learn and improve myself. And maybe someone else might benefit from it. Reading your chats, they'll get awareness of it. Also, ensure that you quote the sources so that people know where you're coming from exactly, what are you basing your answers on. And I'll see if I can actually link all of these different nootropics and supplements that I consume on a daily basis somewhere in the chat so that you can just click on it and buy it from those websites. Maybe I will try to include an Amazon affiliate link so that it can help me also generate some revenue and create more content for you all in the future. Finally, if you can remember of one person who could benefit from today's live stream, then please share it with those with that person. Okay, you never know how it might impact their lives, and it will add a lot of karma to you. A lot of karma balance will be generated for you, and a lot of good positive wishes will be coming your way if you do this. Finally, if you haven't followed our channel so far, then I would request you to do that, because we are going to be creating, not we, but me along with my team, we are going to create a lot of content to empower entrepreneurs and creative folks. I'll be talking about so many tools and resources, both in the terms of psychology, in terms of literally like the tools like technology. And yeah, if you found this useful, then just go follow. If you don't want to follow, at least leave a like if you reach till this point, because that really motivates me and shows me that whatever I'm doing is actually adding value to your life, and it keeps me going and creating more of this content and pushing myself even in hard times. So I'm Shubham, your host from Branding Bomb, and I want to thank you for your valuable time. And I'm super grateful that you were here watching this video, this live stream. There's a lot more to come in the future, and I hope you're as excited as I am. I'll see you again in the next live stream tomorrow. Until then, you take care and have a productive week ahead. Take care, see you, and bye bye.